Right. Alright then guys, section, oh no, what are we on? Section 6. Donatello. That's a good way of wearing your knives, in case you see that. Right, okay, nice easy one then for 6. We'll just look at the double lap, just really simple one, and all we're going to do with this is pull that facts out and then you can double up from there. However, what I want you to try is, while we're rolling, there's a couple of things that we need to think about when we're doing a lap. If I just lap from something stationary, then he's got a chance of slipping that or doing something with it, so it's best if I can get kind of with pressure. So I'll push forwards and see what I get from that. Now, I was saying to you earlier about just in general, if you have a contact and you push, like in packs, pack is just one way of looking at this. Really what I'm looking at is a principle of using energy against somebody. If I push here, there's only 3 options, 3 things that can happen. If I push and he matches it, then I can pack. If I push and he overpowers me, then I can lap. If I push and he absorbs that, then I can go. So it's just kind of following what goes on. And likewise, incidentally as well, if I push from there, and whichever one he does, it might be that as he pushes, as I push, he absorbs. That could be my interpretation of wanting to gum, but his interpretation of wanting to lap. So he might lap me before I get to do that gum. If he overpowers me, and I think, right, I'm going to lap, he might gum before I get a chance to do that. So Chi Sau is always kind of a two-way conversation. We need to remember that and understand that. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Don't talk. No, yeah, it's a two-way conversation when we're playing. Therefore, if I lap, I don't just want to lap just sort of willy-nilly. It's best if I lap by getting a pressure. So if I get a push against this, then I can lap. At this point, he's now presented something even better for me, because now I can lap through the weakness of his stance. And just to remind us as well, if you stand straight for me, if we get like an L shape with our feet, there's always a strength and a weakness, of course. If he was to lap Sau me at this point, I'm going to feel strong because he's pulling along my lineage, my strong stance. If I lap him, it's going to be very easy to pull him out of his stance. If I pack Sau, he can be very strong because I'm packing down his right leg, so he could resist that. So you jam it, if you will. So he can end up being really strong with the pack, but weak with the lap. So that means that if you pack me, here, he can push me over. So we need to realise that if you're in a position like this, when he does the pack, I need to be able to absorb this pack. Again, here. If I'm here, I'm susceptible to a lap, if you will, so he pulls me out of the stance, again lap. So I need to make sure that I can slip the lap as well. So I absorb the pack and slip the lap. The point I'm looking at there is, so that's just an extra thing about being aware of what's available to you in the attack. So what you also need to be aware of in defence. You know, don't have done to you what you're about to do to somebody else. In this case then, in order to get the double lap, like we see in the yap down, pull in here, change and lap, that's effectively a double lap. If I want to make the most out of my lap, what I'm going to do is give a little push. So I've got a push there, and you see his left leg's gone back. So from here, I'm going to lap facts out, and then go for the double lap, because that's going to be even more successful. It's like, I'm not suggesting that we don't go for that lap facts out, because that should always go, I should be going for that always. But if it's blocked, you know, there's often something else that we can go for as well. You know, so I'm not suggesting that you set something up, and so that we have something then that, oh yeah, in 2 moves I'll be there, because it's got to be, everyone's got to be, have that full intention. But what we can do here is I'm rolling, changing arms, whatever, I'm going to give a little push, and he's landed in that arm, so I'm going to lap facts out, double lap. So that's what I'm going for. I'm not doing a big turn on it, because we've got grippy shoes and a good carpet. So push, if he doesn't move, that's fine. So don't give me anything, make me work for it. So again, I'm going to push there, lap facts out, and then double lap. So that's exactly like we see in the form. So that's what we're going to go with. So what I want you to do when you're playing with this is, I could just say, well, it's just lap facts out and then double lap. But then it's very easy to question that and think, well, you know, that's assuming that the guy's just going to be a patsy and he's going to let me do this technique. So I want to kind of edge my bets. I want to make sure I've got something to lap against. So I'm going to push. If I push and he just resists and doesn't step, then I've got something to lap anyway. So I could go for something else. Singularly, I've got something there that I can work with. But if I push, so if I push and he resists, I can lap it. If I push and he steps back, then I'm going to lap, in this case, to try and get the most out of that weakness of his stance. And again here, through the weakness of his stance. So, you know, if ever there's a problem with the hands, let the feet sort it out. You know, so that's like Master Yichun when he watches Chi Sau. He'll often look at the feet. When he sees good footwork, then he'll look up. So we don't kind of want to be sort of skidding about all over the place, or just being like solid, you know. It's alright to have that kind of stability, but stability without mobility is a bit kind of pointless. You know, you're not a statue, you've got to be able to move. But if you're so bouncy, moving about, you've also got no stability. So it's always about balance. So for the last time, I'm going to roll, and I'm just going to give a push, as he's gone on that one. I'll lap Sau, then turn double lap, and of course we see the technique. So again, there's a double lap. Thanks for listening. Get a partner and give it a go. Lovely. Cheers. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you.